The buyer's journey and the marketing funnel are interdependent. This is how organizations and the people who work there come to use your company's services. The path prospective buyers take from the initial stages, where they learn about your business, through to the last stage, when they hopefully become customers, is known as the buyer's journey. Awareness, consideration, and decision are the three steps. Let's examine each of those three phases individually. Awareness. The phase of brand awareness is when consumers first become aware of your company. It might begin once consumers realize they have a problem to fix and start looking for service providers who can do it. Other times, people might learn about your company through one of the wonderful marketing techniques like content marketing. Your blog or ebook might be discovered by chance or be forwarded to someone by a friend. Regardless of how it happened, this is where people learn two things about your business. 1. That it even exists, and 2. What it does. Consideration. A buyer or prospect enters the consideration stage once they are aware of your business and understand how it may help their business. They are now prepared to learn more about your goods at this point. Buyers frequently conduct online thorough research on possible solution providers, which implies they might take into account your rivals as well. Prospects may speak with a member of your sales team at this point. Decision. This is it. This is the last step. Can you get them to the finish line? Will they or won't they? Decision means buying decision, indicating that it is time for them to make a choice. They effectively have three options. They may choose whether to buy from you, buy from someone else, or wait and not buy anything. They will have all of the pricing data by this point, which could significantly influence their choice. Marketing metrics can be used to assess success and the proportion of customers in each stage of the sales funnel. As the number of people decreases, it is normal to have fewer and fewer people at each level, which is why it is referred to as a funnel. Here is an illustration to help you understand the metrics associated with that funnel. Metrics are all about numbers. At each stage of the funnel, marketers measure the number of 1. Web visitors, people who come to your website. 2. Leads, individuals for whom you have contact or demographic information, such as name, title, and email address. 3. MQLs, business consumers who have interacted with your brand or have the demographic fit showing they fit the profile to potentially become a customer. 4. SQLs, buyers who have been individually vetted by the sales team. This is an extra qualification step done on an individual basis, determining if a buyer is ready to speak with a sales representative. 5. Sales opportunities, prospects who have spoken with your sales team and say they are interested in your product and would like to know more. 6. Customers, the final step. No longer a prospect, the individual's company now uses your product or service. If any of those terms don't make sense, no need to fear. We've got plenty of additional information about each step, including the trickier ones like leads and MQLs. Let's look at each of them more in depth, starting with the first metric we can measure, website visitors. 1. Website visitor. The first stage of the B2B marketing funnel frequently begins with website visits. There is a chance for someone to enter the marketing funnel when they visit a page on your website, due to all of that fantastic inbound marketing. They are prepared to move forward into the lead stage of the funnel if they fill out a form to download a piece of content and provide you with their contact information. 2. Leads. A B2B lead is, in the simplest words, a prospective client or prospect for a B2B business. They can join a nurturing campaign after taking an action to interact with your brand, such as signing up for your newsletter or downloading some content. Face-to-face conversations can also generate leads. If you are a sponsor of an event and a visitor comes to your stand, you can scan their participant badge, often their name tag, and collect their contact information. After the event, you can import any names you scanned and business cards you may have gotten into your CRM program or another database. A lead is, at its most basic level, any individual or organization that you believe would profit from the goods or services offered by your firm. Every B2B organization depends on consistently producing leads. The critical first step that distinguishes the pool of possible customers from everyone else is converting someone into a lead, but there is still much work to be done. The buyer's journey is still in its early stages for many fresh leads. They might only recently have become aware of their business issue, and they haven't even begun to think about the best course of action. The goal is to fill a pipeline with leads that are at different levels of interest, instead than making a lot of money for a few months and then failing when the leads stop coming in. This aids B2B enterprises in growing sustainably. The initial step is all that is necessary to add a lead to a marketing funnel. If everything goes as planned, they'll make a number of commitments that get bigger until they're prepared to make the biggest one, becoming a customer. Lead scoring. Not every lead is made equally. Some people are eager to buy today out of anxiety for a solution. Some people are still learning more about their alternatives. An approach to determine a person's likelihood of becoming a customer is through lead scoring. As a result of their responses to your marketing activities, as well as their demographic and firmographic information, lead scoring aims to identify prospects or leads who are most likely to make a purchase. How does it function? Utilizing marketing automation software, which most products do automatically, is one of the most popular strategies. Points are awarded to leads based on a number of variables. You will have a person's information when they fill out a form on your website. Your information can include things like their name, title, company size, and location, depending on the information requested on the form and how effective your marketing automation program is. Based on how much each of these affects their likelihood of succeeding, their score may be impacted. Similar to how points can be removed from leads, you might deduct points from an individual contractor if you know that they probably can't afford your product. Although the number serves as a statistic for quality, keep in mind that you aren't rating them on a personal level. Lead scores are solely dependent on a prospect's likelihood to become a customer or how closely they suit your business's concept of the best fit customer. Lead scoring enables marketers to know how involved a lead is in the marketing funnel. This is also known as an ideal customer profile. Because of this, it is simpler to develop important indicator and interactions that will bring them closer to becoming consumers. Because resources are scarce in B2B sales, lead scoring is very helpful. There are only so many hours in the day to arrange meetings and phone calls. To increase their close rates, salespeople should concentrate on the leads with the highest scores. A lead may also receive points in accordance with how they connect with your brand. In our subsequent funnel step, which is MQLs, we'll dig more deeply into that. 3. MQLs. Any individual that engages with your brand can serve as a lead, but it does not automatically make them a good one. A lead must earn enough points to qualify as a marketing qualified lead, MQL, in order to go forward via the funnel. An MQL is a person whose engagement levels indicate that they have the potential to purchase from you. Leads also gain points when they interact with your brand in addition to demographic data. Points are awarded for taking part in a webinar, downloading content, or showcasing your business at an event. Brand interactions are weighted. The more significant the interaction, the more points the lead receives. Someone who asks for a demo has clearly expressed interest in your product. More points would be awarded for this than for downloading an ebook. When a lead is prepared to communicate with your sales team, that lead should be designated as an official MQL. Leads become MQLs after they reach a minimum point value. MQLs have often been those who have reacted to an outbound marketing communication channel. But things have changed, and the average B2B customer is now 57% of the way through a purchase decision before even speaking with the sales representative. Let's look at an example. Suppose you own an enterprise software company. Your MQL criteria and lead score would differ depending on the B2B company. Together, sales and marketing management have determined that leads must score at least 25 points to qualify as MQLs. In exchange for downloading your network security guide, Rob and Maria each filled out a form with their name, company, size of firm, title, and email address. They each score 5 points. Only Maria reads the guide, though, and she returns to your website after clicking on one of its links. Once there, she downloads more material, earning a total of 5 more points. Maria is a more valued lead because she has demonstrated greater enthusiasm for your business. Let's now include demographics in the calculation. With only 6 employees, Rob's business is a modest one. He loses 3 points, dropping to 2 due to the high cost of your product. Maria, on the other hand, is a director and works for a large corporation with more than 1,000 workers. Each of the objects awards her 3 points, raising her total to 16. Mary receives numerous emails from your business during the following 3 months. She receives an additional 10 points for opening 6 emails and 2 links, giving her a total of 26 points. Congratulations, Mary! She is now an MQL. In order to qualify someone as an MQL and factor them into lead scoring, they often engage in the following behaviors. Main content activities. Giving a lead points for interacting with any of your website's content is a terrific idea, as are opening emails and using the links inside. Taking in-depth, knowledgeable content about your goods may result in bonus points. Important website actions. A lead might be an MQL if they spend a lot of time on a pricing page or come back to it frequently in a short period of time. 4. SQLs. Leads are considered to be sales ready once they have been qualified as MQLs. It's time for sales to complete its screening procedure and decide if the lead qualifies as an official SQL or not. You already know what MQL stands for, so it shouldn't come as a surprise to learn that SQL stands for Sales Qualified Lead. Although you may have a lot of leads with scores high enough to qualify as MQLs, not all of them are prepared to qualify as SQLs. This is a wonderful example of how the marketing funnel works. As fewer and fewer prospects move on to the SQL step, the funnel gets thinner. Automated lead scoring systems, which frequently produce MQLs, can have several downsides. For instance, there might be a small business owner who adores your stuff and often downloads it. That owner will continue to earn points as long as she downloads your stuff, despite having a small business and no money to invest. This is where SQLs come into play because they need to do a little more research and are completed by actual people. A BDR, Business Development Representative, or SDR, Sales Development Representative, typically performs this stage. They examine all the data that marketing has forwarded to them and determine whether the lead is actually as strong as their lead score suggests. Once it has been approved, the BDR or SDR will start the qualification process for sales. It is typically returned to marketing for further nurturing if it is rejected. This is occasionally referred to as a recycle program. A lead may be qualified to a SQL based on a variety of factors, including: does the lead's company have the funds available to purchase your goods or services? No matter how much they adore your product, if they don't, conversion won't take place. Does the individual in question have the authority to give you the go-ahead? Although it might be beneficial to have employees at all levels promote your brand to their managers, in the end, you need to establish a relationship with the key decision makers. You can't close the sale unless they agree. This lead needs your goods right. Even if they think it's fantastic, there's no need in wasting your time on them if their business or sector doesn't need it. Let's take a deeper look at MQLs and SQLs side by side because there may be some crossing there. The distinction between MQL and SQL. While the distinctions between leads that are sales qualified and marketing qualified may appear slight, they are nevertheless significant. Typically, an automated system determines MQLs. They become a SQL as soon as their lead score reaches the minimal requirement. SQLs, on the other hand, need a customized touch. The sales team will research and examine the lead to determine how probable it is that they will convert. MQLs might not be prepared for one-on-one conversations. For instance, even if a person passes the test to become an MQL and is forwarded to sales, if they fail the test to become a SQL, they can still be kept in the MQL nurturing cycle. However, SQLs are ready for a one-on-one conversation. It's time for a sales call and a real interpersonal exchange. You have moved on to the following funnel stage. 5. Sales opportunity. Your lead has now been classified as a SQL, and sales may now add a personal touch. This frequently involves a phone call that might have been scheduled by email. It might also be a face-to-face meeting, perhaps in a conference room at a trade show or at a person's workplace. No platform or location. It is a discussion between people. Despite the fact that one-on-one meetings are the norm, a prospect could also be joined by other team members who make decisions. Sales now have the chance to learn what matters to this particular prospect. Your sales representative can identify the customer's problems and explain how your solution solves them. Prospects need to engage in conversation before they decide to purchase your goods because B2B sales are so complex. Software, for instance, may require a substantial investment. Employees will invest time as they learn how to use a new product in addition to the financial side. Sales can ultimately decide if a prospect qualifies to continue forward in the funnel as a sales opportunity after speaking with them, whether over the phone or in person. A sales opportunity, in its simplest form, is someone who says, "I am thinking of buying your product and would like to know more." 6. Customer. You've reached the top of the funnel. Congratulations. The potential customer has expressed interest in your offering. They've even met with you and given you their time, and now they want to go on to the next phase. In order to convert your prospect into a customer, you now need to complete the last stages and sign the contract. This can require numerous visits and depend on a number of variables, such as clarifying doubts about your product and gathering more details for the prospect's coworkers. The lead will also take into account the time and money needed to adopt your product.